Today, I'm going to be making the King Arthur Baking Company. This is their gluten-free cookie mix. It says perfect for your favorite add-ins made with gluten-free oat flour. This is a 16-ounce, 1-pound box. It was $7.49 at the Fresh Market. We have seen these at the Fresh Market. We've also seen them at Whole Foods. Kroger might sell them. I'm not for sure. I do know for sure 100% Fresh Market and Whole Foods. So what you need, the very basics that you need a stick of butter softened, you need an egg, and then you need 2 tablespoons of water. You technically don't need anything else to make these cookies except for butter, egg, and water. But they're not going to look like they do on the front because you have to add whatever add-ins you want. So you can add in chocolate chips, dried fruit, and nuts. It can be from 1 cup to 3 cups. So I have a bunch of different things up in the cabinet that I wanted to use up. So I used up the rest of this bag of Heath English toffee bits. That's a whole cup right there. So then I've had 2 cups left. So I used the rest of these chopped pecans. That was half a cup. There's a combination here of the caramel chips, which do not taste like caramel. They taste like butterscotch. Very, very, very sweet. I've got a combination of caramel and semi-sweet chips here just to use up the rest of the bag. That is another half cup. So there's 2 cups right there. And then I knew I could still have 1 more cup, and why not? If they're telling me I can have up to 3 cups, I'm going to take it to the limit because that's me. So I used the rest of this bag of Premier white morsels, and I used just a little bit of these sliced almonds. So I did not use the rest of the almonds, but I used up all these other bags that I don't have to put back up in my cabinet. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open this box and see what we get inside. And I believe it's just going to be one big mix. Yes, that's what you get. Okay. This is what you get for $7.49. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and then I am using a cookie sheet with a piece of this Reynolds Kitchen parchment paper because it works for me. But the first thing we want to do is we're going to put half of this mixture along with our butter, egg, and water in our KitchenAid mixer, and if you have a hand mixer, that's fine. We're going to mix it together really well, and then once it's mixed together, then we're going to add the remainder of the bag. Now we're going to stir in our mix-ins, and it seems like this would make it really hard to stir with all this stuff going on, and it might. So I might have to switch this, get a sturdier spoon to mix all this in with. Now the directions say scoop dough by the heaping tablespoon onto ungreased baking sheet. So I have a cookie scoop, and I always make mine heaping. That's how I do it. So I'm going to put a heaping, and I probably won't get as many cookies as they want you to out of here, because I do make large cookies. But I just know I can either go ahead and make 1 large cookie, or I'm just going to end up eating 2 at least anyway. So why not make them big from the get-go, right? And I will probably take my fingers and squeeze this dough a little bit, just to make sure that it's all stuck together before I put it in the oven. So now these say they're going to bake for 10 to 12 minutes. I will probably bake mine I'll probably set them for a low time. I'll probably go for 10 minutes at first, and then I'll check on them. But when they come out, I'll let you know the total time that I left them in for. So we got 8 cookies on that cookie sheet, and I'm just going to squeeze them together a little bit. And I don't want to really flatten them, but I just want to push them down just a little bit, just so that they'll bake better in the center, I think. There we go. So 10 minutes or 12 minutes, I'll let you know. We'll be back. These were in for 10 minutes, and I'm going to leave them. I'm going to let them cool off right here. But I don't want to really leave them anymore. I mean, they could go a little bit longer. They could go for another minute, but it's kind of getting brown around the edges. So I'm going to let it go. I've got another pan ready to go. And then I still have enough for at least one more pan. So we're going to have a lot of cookies here. So I'll set these for 11 minutes and we'll see what the difference between 10 and 11 minutes is. I'm going to go ahead and take these that were in for 10 minutes and I'm going to move them over to this cooling rack just so I can go ahead and load this pan up again. And you absolutely, these baking sheets, you can reuse them. It's good to go for another time. These do, of course, they're right out of the oven, but they do feel really, really soft. So they might be too underbaked. Of course, I love an ooey gooey cookie, so they probably won't be too underbaked for me, but it might be better once they go for 11 minutes. So I'm going to load this pan up, and when the ones come out for 11 minutes, heck, you never know. Maybe if they don't burn in 11 minutes, maybe we'll even try to go for the full 12 minutes and see how they do. So these are the 10-minute cookies. These are the 11-minute cookies. And they still don't look, I mean, they look great, but they don't look like they're overdone, overbaked, or anything like that. So I have my last group in, just put them in, and I'm letting them go the full time. We're going to go the full 12 minutes, and we'll see what the difference is. These are the ones that were in for 12 minutes. So you can see they still like they didn't burn, they didn't get too dark at all. So I'm going to put these on the plate, and we're going to give them a try. So Kevin was not here when I was making these, so I figured we could play a little game. Guess the mix-ins in the cookies.
Just by looking at them, it looks like white chocolate, regular chocolate, butterscotch or caramel chips, I don't know which one because they look the same. And it looks like pecans and maybe almonds.
Almond slivers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so white
that's
chocolate.
All I see.
White,
oh, there's some, the toffee, Heath bar.
Yes. I think you got everything. So I put white chips, semi-sweet chips, caramel chips, which taste like butterscotch. I put the Heath bar. I put pecans, almonds. I think I mentioned it all. Yeah, I used, yeah.
That's what I can see.
I got rid of a lot of bags of stuff.
Yeah.
So I had never intended for this video to become about what time is the best because all ovens are different. We have the 10-minute cookie, the 11-minute cookie, and the 12-minute cookie. They kind of all look the same. They might be the same. But this, if I had seen this on the back, I probably would have made these instead. It says you can make bars, which I didn't even know. So if you don't want to make cookies, I love bars, love making bars. So it says for bars, mix an additional 2 tablespoons of butter, additional 2 tablespoons of water, and 3 cups of add-ins, which I already did, along with the egg water, along with everything else that we put. And then you press it into a 9 by 13 inch pan and just bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. Well, first of all, that's easier because you're doing it, you're one and done. Instead of having
pan after pan after pan.
3 batches and, you know, I'm waiting and then I'm loading up with the cookie scoop, you know, that's more time consuming. If you're just making bars, heck, that's easy. So if I had seen that, I would have done the bars, but cookies will be good. So without any of the add-ins whatsoever, it's 110 calories for 2 tablespoons. So let's try the 10-minute cookie.
It looks really soft.
Yes. Well,
I think it's going to depend on what bite you get too.
I know because I put so many mix-ins that, yeah, you don't know what you're going to get.
I'm surprised you didn't sprinkle a little sea salt on top.
That would have been perfect. That would have been perfection. I wish you had said that.
I wasn't here.
He wasn't here.
I wasn't here to say it. I tell you what, I taste most of it more than anything is that caramel butterscotch flavor.
That is awesome. Wow. I love the pecans. I love that it's supposed to be caramel. The mix-ins are wonderful.
The batter itself, the cookie itself, has a little bit of a grainy texture.
I wondered if you would notice that.
Oh yeah. It's not quite sandy. Like, it's not quite that bad, but it is a little gritty.
Okay. Well, like we said, Kevin wasn't here when I was making these. So, I'm really...
they're gluten-free.
They're gluten-free. Right. These are gluten-free. So, I'm one of these that anytime I make something, I'm going to lick the bowl or I'm going to lick the beater or whatever. Well, since I have so much mix in the bowl, I didn't want to take anything out of that. I took it off the paddle for the KitchenAid because it didn't have any mix-ins because you stir the mix-ins. It just had the batter. And I got a really good sampling of just the batter with no mix-ins. And it is, in fact, sandy. It is...
I get the sandy, gritty texture on my tongue.
There is a difference between a good grit, a good sugar grit, and a sandy grit. This is actually, if you don't use any mix-ins, it's going to be sandy texture.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it would be like without mix-ins, because the mix-ins help overcome that a lot.
Okay, let's see if one more minute added anything.
Give me a hunk.
Okay.
Still feel pretty solid.
It's a little crunchier.
Yeah, you can really tell it on the bottom.
I'll tell you what.
I like it better. Just a little bit more time.
The combination of the pecans and those caramel chips is outstanding. I'm getting that flavor every time, and I love it.
It also makes it super sweet.
Oh, yeah. But those two flavors are what is standing out to me, and it's a delicious combination.
For me, it's more the caramel butterscotch chips. That's the main flavor I'm getting out of every bite.
Wow.
That's good. It still has that sandy texture, though.
I'm not noticing it with all the add-ins.
Yeah, I get it 100%. But I'm more sensitive to Tammy than she is to it.
Okay.
Because it's always kind of bothered me when you get the protein bars or some of the gluten-free stuff is like that.
Now, these are still warm a little bit.
They all kind of hit me that way. What is it? Keto? Well, some of the keto stuff has that same texture, doesn't it?
It is the crispiest cookie as you would expect, but it still isn't like, it's not one of those, no, it's not like one of those Pepperidge Farm thin crispy cookies. It's not that crisp.
Not even close to that.
It still does, it still has a chewiness to it.
Leaving it in there a little bit longer too. Something that's laying on the bottom has a little more of a caramelized kind of texture. Yeah, it could be the Reese's. I mean, not the Reese's, the Heath bar pieces. But I don't think so. I think it's something sugar has gotten a little more caramelized on the bottom.
That's one thing. Kevin said Reese's by accident. That's one thing I didn't have in the cabinet was any Reese's peanut butter chips, because that would have added a lot too.
I think this is a good mix if you're gluten-free. For me, it doesn't work because I get that grittiness throughout every bite. And it's really not pleasant for me.
This is not one, I like it with all the mix-ins. If you have stuff up in your cabinet that you need to use, I like it with all the mix-ins. But it is not fun to eat it by itself like it is most cookie mixes. Like, I could eat that stuff and not even bake them at all. And this isn't like that for me. It's really sandy, and normally I'm not sensitive to that at all. But you can, it's really clear without the mix-in.
Yeah, the first one is like, I think I could deal with this. Then as I ate more, it's like, you know what, it's just coating my tongue with this like sandy grit. It's almost like literally I'm eating sand.
No, I get that because I've got that now.
Yeah, it's just like this coating.
So which is your preference of bake time?
The longest one. I like that crispier
Really?
bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right in the middle, and I'm going to say the 11-minute
Either one. Those are so close that it really didn't matter.
I love an ooey gooey cookie, and these are nice.
Yeah.
I like them all, but right in the middle I thought was perfect.
The shorter period of time didn't have that crispy bottom, whereas both of these kind of had a little, just a little bit of a crunchier bottom. Not a lot, not like hard crunchy.
But these are they're very nicely baked, and you can see all the stuff.
Yeah, but look at the bottom of that one.
Yeah,
not much difference.
And then here's the 11.
Yeah, these are pretty close.
Yeah, really, really nice cookies.
I think, like I said, I think they're good if you need gluten-free. But for those of you not doing gluten-free, there's no reason to get it.
Yeah. So you'll have to let us know, have you ever bought these? Have you ever made them? What mix-ins did you add? Because that's going to change everything. I mean, you could add just 3 cups of peanut butter chips and have a peanut butter cookie, and it's going to be completely different. They also said a dried fruit, which of course in this house...
Yeah, but I could see like cranberries and...
Yeah, but I don't...
Like
yeah, a lot of people
raisins.
Keep stuff like that around the house. We do not, so we have all sweet stuff. But I do think this is a good gluten-free mix as long as you're not sensitive to that sandy texture.
Right.
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.